Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Radhe Jai Jagannath Jai Jagannath Jai Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Jaya Lakshmi Narsimha Lakshmi Narsimha Lakshmi Narsimha Jai Jai Lakshmi Narsimha Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai Nittai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Jai Jai Jaya Prabhupada 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 Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Mandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त श्रीराधाकान्त नमोस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी श्रीराधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यः च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। Keep your videos on except for those who have not returned from their office. Others all keep your videos on. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Ishavasya sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat tena tyaktena bhunjita magudakasya swadhanam kurvanneveha karmani jiji vishechatam samaha एवं त्वयि नान्यथेतोऽस्ति न कर्म लिप्यते नरे असुर्यानाम ते लोका अन्धेन तमसावृतः तांस्ते प्रीत्याभिगच्छन्ति एके चात्मनो जनाः. Today 4th, 5th and 6th will try to complete. अनेजदेकं मनसो जवीयो नैनद्देवाप्नुवन् पूर्वमर्षत् तद्धावतो ज्ञानतेति तिष्ठत् तस्मिन्नपो मातरिश्वा दधाति. अनेजदेकं मनसो जवीयो नैनद्देवाप्नुवन् पूर्वमर्षत् तद्धावतो ज्ञानतेति तिष्ठत् तस्मिन्नपो मातरिश्वा दधाति. All of you keep your videos on. I'll mark absent if your videos are off, because now the time has come to give you all the certificate. Certificates are only for those who have kept their videos on and attended the class sincerely, because I don't know whether you're sleeping or attending or not. I'll come to you. So in the classroom, the videos has to be on. It's a very compulsory rule in the Bhakti Shastri. You cannot keep your videos off. If you kept your videos off, next year you'll get Bhakti Shastri certificate. Anejadekam manaso javiyo nainad deva apnuvan purvamarshad tadhavato jnaan ateti tishthat tasmin apo matarishva dhadati. I'll read again Then Dayasagar Prabhu will repeat. Anejadekam manaso javiyo nainat deva apnuman purvamarshad tadhavatonyan atyeti tishthat tasminnapo matarishva dadhati. Dadhati, you have to stretch there. Okay. Dayasagar Prabhu, please read.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Anejadekam manaso javiyo naina deva apnuvan purnam arshat tadhavato anyat tadhavatonyan atyeti tishthat tasmin apo matarishvat dadhati.
Dadhati. Dadhati. Okay. Manoj Prabhu, please read.
अनेजदेकं मनसो जवीयो नैनद्देव आप्नुवन् पूर्वम् अर्षत् तद्वातो अन्यनत्तेति तिष्ठत् तस्मिन् अपो मतरिष्वा दधाति.
Matarishva Dadhati. Okay. Krishna Priya Mataji. Mute your phone, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Dandavat Pranam Mataji. Anejadekam manaso javiyo nainadveva apruvan purvamarshat tvadvavatonyanyatayeti tishtat tasminnapo matarisva dadhati.
Very good. Next we will chant. Vandana Mataji, you read.
Hare Krishna. Anejekam manaso javivyo nanidya deva apnovan purvam arasat tadhyavaton anya ateshyati tishthan tasmin
Tadhavatonian atyeti tishthat.
तथ्या अतोवत् अनेन अतेति तिष्ठन् तस्मिन् अपो मात्रस्व दधाति.
How to correct?
I'll repeat it, Mataji. I tried today and say tomorrow again.
Okay. Neeraj Prabhu, try out. Read one line, one word properly. Neeraj Prabhu.
Okay. Mataji, sorry, I did not hear that. So I'll read it. Anekadekam manaso javiyo nena dyaveva aprun purvamarshata.
Apnuvan.
Yeah. Tadhavatonyanyeti tishthat.
Nyan atyeti. Atyeti tishthat. Atyeti.
Yes. Tishthat tasminnopo matarikshva dadati.
Very good. So anejat is fixed. Ekam, one. Manasaha, mind. Javiyaha, more swift. Na, not. Enath, the Supreme Lord. Devaha, the demigods like Indra. Apnuvan, can approach. Purvam, in front. Arshat, moving quickly. Tat, he. Dhavataha, those who are running. Anyan, others. Atyeti, surpasses. Tishthat, remaining in one place. Tasmin, in him. Apaha, rain. Matarishva, the gods which control the wind and rain. So Lord is fixed in his abode. Although fixed in his abode, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is fixed in his abode. He is more swifter. Javiha is more swifter than the mind. And can overcome all others running. Na etad javiyah. The powerful demigods cannot approach him. Even Indra cannot approach him. Apnuvan purvam arshad. He quickly runs. Although in one place he controls those who supply the air and rain, he surpasses all in excellence, you see. So he is fixed, anejat. Anejat means he is fixed in one place. Anejat ekam. Manasaha javiyo, he is swifter than the mind. Na devaha apnuvan, no demigods can approach him. He moves very quickly. He runs very fast. Dhavataha anyan, he surpasses everyone. Tishthat, he remains in one place. At the same time, what is he doing? Tasmin matarishvaha tadati. He controls the wind and rain. Remaining in one place, he controls those who supply the air and rain. He surpasses everyone in excellence. So we saw that how 1, 2, 3 was speaking about the law of nature. Now 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Vision of Mahabhagat. Mahabhagat, what is the vision of Mahabhagat? They know the quality of Krishna. The vision means how they see Krishna. They see Krishna as the controller. They see Krishna that though he is remaining in one place, he can move swiftly. At the same time, they know that nobody can excel him in quality. Not even any devatas, including the lord of the devatas, that is Indra. Even he cannot excel Krishna in the qualities. Nobody can excel. He can surpass everybody. Okay. Krishna Priya Mataji, read the purport.
Translation. The personality of Godhead, although fixed in his abode, is more swift than the mind and can overcome all other running. The powerful demigods cannot approach him. Although in one place, he has control over those who supply the air and rain. He surpasses all in excellence. Purport. The Supreme Lord, who is the absolute personality of Godhead, is not knowable even to the greatest philosopher through mental speculation. He can be known only by his devotees through his mercy. In the Brahma Samhita, it is said that the non-devotee philosopher who can travel at the speed of the mind or at the velocity of the air and who can travel in space for hundreds of years will find the absolute still far, far away from him. As described in the Upanishads, the absolute personality of Godhead as his transcendental abode, known as Krishna Loka, where he remains engaged in his pastimes. But by his inconceivable potency, he can simultaneously reach every part of the creative energy. In the Vishnu Purana, this potency is compared with the light and heat of the fire. The fire can distribute its light and heat from one place, and similarly, the absolute personality of Godhead, although fixed up in his transcendental abode, can diffuse his different energies everywhere.
Everywhere. So Lord, remaining in one place, diffuses his energy everywhere. That is how Parasya Shaktir Vividheva Shruyate is one person, but he has multifarious energies to control everything. But when it comes to the devotees, he personally takes care. But when it comes to the management of all the entire universe, creation, operation, destruction, Krishna has his energies. So when it comes to the devotees, he personally takes care. So this was a question which was asked by Akbar to Birbal. Why is it that your Lord always comes? He doesn't have any servants. This was the question asked. Birbal was very witty in answer. He was quiet. And this was the talk of the town, that this is the first time Birbal is just silent. 3 months passed, everybody forgot. Now, after 3 months, they were all going in the boat ride. Akbar with his small baby. So in the middle of the river, Birbal throws the child in the water. Akbar just comes and saves the child, brings him. At that time, the question is asked by Birbal. We all were present. You should have told us, na? We could have jumped. Then Akbar got the answer. When it comes to protecting the devotees, Krishna does not waste the time. Krishna himself appears. But because how can he waste the time? He has to tell, he has to call somebody, okay, you do this, do that. He doesn't want to waste even a fraction of time when it comes to saving his devotees. That is how Krishna loves his devotees. Okay. Next paragraph, Daya Sakar Prabhu read.
Although his energies are innumerable, they can be divided into three principal categories: the internal potency, the marginal potency, and external potency. There are hundreds and millions of subheadings of each of these categories. The dominating demigods, who are empowered to control and administer such natural phenomena as air, light, and rain, are all classified within the material potency of the absolute person. Lesser living beings, including humans, also belong to the marginal potency. The marginal world is the creation of the Lord's external potency, and the spiritual sky, where the kingdom of God is situated, is the manifestation of his internal potency.
Okay, continue. The three
Thus,
potencies have been given.
Thus, the different energies of the Lord are present everywhere. Although the Lord and his energies are non-different and should not mistake these energies for the supreme truth, nor should one wrongly consider that the Lord, the Supreme Lord, is distributed everywhere impersonally, or that he loses his personal existence. Men are accustomed to reaching conclusions according to their capacity for understanding, but the Supreme Lord is not subject to our limited capacity for understanding. It is for this reason that the Upanishads warn us that no one can approach the Lord by his own limited potency. In the Bhagavad Gita,
very clearly says that absolute truth. Yeah, read.
In the Bhagavad Gita 10.2, the Lord says that not even the great rishis and asuras can know him. And what to speak of the asuras, for whom there is no question of understanding the ways of the Lord. This fourth mantra of Isopanisad very clearly suggests that the absolute truth is ultimately the absolute person. Otherwise, there would have been no need to mention so many details in support of his personal features. Although the individual parts and parcels of the Lord's potencies have all the symptoms of the Lord himself, they have limited spheres of activity and are therefore all limited. The parts and parcels are never equal to the whole. Therefore, they cannot appreciate the Lord's full potency. Under the influence of material nature, foolish and ignorant living beings, who are but parts and parcels of the Lord, try to conjecture about the Lord's transcendental position. Sri Isopanisad warns of the futility of trying to establish the identity of the Lord through mental speculation. One should try to learn of the transcendence from the Lord himself, the supreme source of the Vedas. For the Lord alone has full knowledge of the transcendence.
Yes. So Lord has a knowledge of the whole thing, of the transcendence. Vedas means the complete knowledge. It emanates from Krishna himself. So one should try to learn the transcendence from the Lord himself. So he is complete. That is how we started with. He is complete. Everything belongs to him. Whatever quota has been given to us, we just have to take it. In this way, then here, second verse, if you see, then whoever has this type of consciousness can live for 100 years. That was the second mantra. Third mantra, wherever it is, very nicely it has been said, one who is the killer of the soul, that means he is not interested in Krishna consciousness. He gets the planet of faithless, gets a planet full of darkness and ignorance. So what is the knowledge which is most important? The knowledge is Lord, though situated in one place, has his energy spread everywhere. And that is how nobody can approach him. But Lord approaches everywhere through his energy. And through his energy, he's maintaining everything. Okay, Hansrupi Prabhu, read from here.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Every part of the complete whole is endowed with some particular energy to act, and the forgetfulness by the part of his particular activities is called Maya, illusion. The Isopanisad has therefore from the very beginning warned us that we should be careful to play the part designated for us by the Lord. This, however, does not mean that the individual soul has no initiative of his own. Because he is the part and parcel of the Lord, he must have the initiative of the Lord as well. Proper use of one's initiative, active nature with intelligence to understand that everything is but the potency of the Lord can lead one to the revival of his original consciousness, which was lost on account of association with Maya, the external energy. All power is obtained.
So one can revive his lost original consciousness. Why it was lost? Because of association with Maya. But just by surrendering to Krishna, one can revive his lost relationship. We are all servants of Krishna. We are all part and parcel of Krishna. That means we are children of Krishna. But we have forgotten. So Isopanisad is warning us to be very careful. Very careful. Whatever part has been designated to us, that just we have to accomplish. That means whatever duties have been given to us. What is the real duty for a soul? To be Krishna conscious. That is our duty. So when somebody can say, oh, I am a father, I should just do my duty. No, that is there anyhow. Arthika dharma, paramarthika dharma. Arthika dharma means whatever duty is designated to this body. That has to be done, no doubt. But not on the cost of giving up paramarthika dharma. So if both the things are kept, then paramarthika dharma is the topmost. That means the constitutional position of the soul. Okay, continue, Prabhu.
Right. All power is obtained from the Lord, and therefore each particular power must be utilized to execute the will of the Lord, and not otherwise. The Lord can be known by one who has adopted a submissive attitude. Perfect knowledge means to know the Lord in all his features, to know about his potencies and how such potencies are working by his will. These things are exclusively described by the Lord in the Bhagavad Gita, which is the essence of all the Upanishads.
Yes. So the power is obtained from the Lord. Therefore, everyone must be, each particular power must be utilized. So power is coming from Lord. So whatever potency a person has, he has to utilize it in Krishna service. So whatever power we are having, utilize. Whatever samarthya Krishna has given, utilize, because everything is coming from Krishna. And so we have to give it back to Krishna, isn't it? We have to utilize in Krishna's service. So mantra 5. This is a very beautiful verse. Contradictions are given. He walks, at the same time does not walk. He is far, at the same time very near. He is within, at the same time he is outside. That means Viruddha Samanyam Tasminna Chitram. Write down. Memorize. And next week I'll ask this thing. Viruddha Samanyam. Who is God? Just one line answer you should know. Viruddha Samanyam. Write down. Viruddha Samanyam Tasminna Chitram. Tasminna Chitram. Viruddha Samanyam Tasminna Chitram. That means where two contradictory qualities harmonize, that person is Krishna. Now, if I am sitting here, at the same time I cannot walk. That is Jiva. But Jiva, he sits in one place and he cannot go, he is not available in the other place. But Krishna, sitting in one place, is available in many places. Krishna is far, Krishna is near. Now, Jiva cannot do that. But Krishna, even though contradictory qualities appear, like Krishna is very beautiful. What is a contradictory? Krishna is very ugly. Then how is ugly? Can anyone say how is he ugly? We can say yes, he is very beautiful, but how is he ugly? Can anybody say how is he ugly?
Yes, Mataji, in the form of death.
Yes, in the form of death. In the form of death, Aham Kalosmi, Krishna says. So in this way, is very ugly. Krishna is very intelligent. That means what? Krishna is Murkha. How is he Murkha? How is he? How is he dull-headed? Tell me. Murkha means dull-headed. How is he dull-headed? Anybody can say.
He is giving the Putra even the mother's status.
Yes.
She came to kill him.
Still he is giving mother's position. Even to those who are saying Krishna is not there, atheist people, to them also Krishna is providing everything. That means describing his negative quality, actually there one is glorifying Krishna. That even though somebody accepts him or doesn't accept him, Krishna is equal to everyone. At the same time, Krishna's power is seen in the form of death. So, two contradictory qualities harmonize. Viruddha, Samanyam, Tasminna Chitram. Tadejati, Tannejati, Taddure, Twadantike, Tadantarasya Sarvasya, Tassarvasyasya Bhayataha. Tadejati, when I did first time, this was my very pet verse. Tadejati, Tannejati, Taddure, Twadantike, Tadantarasya Sarvasya, Tarsarvasyasya Bhayataha. Again, I will repeat, then all of you will chant. Tadejati, Tannejati, Taddure, Twadantike, Tadantarasya Sarvasya, Tatsarvasyasya Bhayataha. Taddu Sarvasyasya Bhayataha. Okay. Vyasagar Prabhu, repeat.
Tadejati, Tadnejati, Taddure Tadvantike, Tadantarasya Sarvasya, Tadusarvasya Bhahyataha.
Sarvasyasya. Sarvasyasya.
Tadusarvasya
Bhayataha.
Bhayataha.
Manojha Prabhu read.
तदेजति तन्नेजति तद्दूरे तद्अन्तिके तदन्तरस्य सर्वस्य तदु सर्वस्यास्य भायते
Bhayatah. Bhayatah. Okay, Krishna Priya Mataji read. Mute your phone, Prabhu.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Tadejati tannejati taddure tadantike tadantarasya sarvasya tadu sarvasyasya bahyatah
Tadu sarvasyasya. Sarvasyasya.
sarvasyasya bahyatah.
Okay. Hansrupi Prabhu read.
Hare Krishna. Tadejati tannejati taddure tadantike tadantarasya sarvasya tadu sarvasya bhayataha
Tadu sarvasyasya. Sarvasyasya.
sarvasyasya bhayataha.
Very good. Neeraj Prabhu, start reading. Mute your phone. Unmute. Unmute.
तदेजति तन्नेजति तद्दूरे तद्वन्तिके तदर्थस्य सर्वस्य तदु सर्वस्यास्य ब्राहता
Bhayatah.
बाह्यता.
Okay, read the translation.
Should I read the translation, Mataji?
Translation. Start
Yes,
reading,
Mataji.
then I'll explain.
The Supreme Lord walks and does not walk. He is far away.
Tadejati. Tadejati. Ejati means walks. Tannejati does not walk. Okay.
He is far away, but he is very near as well.
Taddure tadantike.
He is within everything. Tadantarasya.
Tadantarasya sarvasya. Tadantarasya sarvasya.
And yet, he is outside of everything.
Tadu sarvasyasya bhayatah. Okay, read the purport.
Here is a description of some of the Supreme Lord's transcendental activities by his inconceivable potencies. The contradictions given here prove the inconceivable potencies of the Lord. He walks and he does not walk. Ordinarily, if someone can walk, it is illogical to say he cannot walk. But in reference to God, contradiction simply serves to indicate his inconceivable power. Fund of knowledge, we cannot accommodate such contradictions, and we conceive of the Lord in terms of our limited power of understanding. For example, the impersonalist philosophers of the Mayavad school accept only the Lord's impersonal activities and reject personal feature. But the
Your voice
member
is
of the
breaking,
Bhagavad
Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Hare Bol.
Yeah.
Let me take Mataji.
Okay,
Am I-
complete this paragraph. After that, Vaishnava Prabhu will read.
For example, the impersonalist philosophers of the Mayavad school accept only the Lord's impersonal activities and reject his personal feature. But the members of the Bhagavad school, adopting the perfect conception of the Lord, accepts his inconceivable potencies and thus understand that he is both personal and impersonal. The Bhagavatas know that without inconceivable potencies, there can be no meaning to the words Supreme Lord. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. We should not take it for granted that because we cannot see God with our eyes, the Lord has no personal existence. Shri Isopanisad refutes this argument by declaring that the Lord is far away but very near also. The abode of the Lord is beyond the material sky, and we have no means to measure even this material sky. If the material sky extends so far, then what to speak of the spiritual sky, which is altogether beyond it? That the spiritual sky is situated far, far away from the material universe is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 15.6. But despite the Lord's being so far away, he can at once, within less than a second, descend before us with the speed swifter than that of mind or wind. He can also run so swiftly that no one can surpass him. This has already been described in various mantra, in the previous mantra.
Previous
Yet
mantra
when-
was said. Tadejit. What was the previous mantra? Anejadekam manasojam. Next, read.
Yet when the personality of Godhead comes before us, we neglect him. Such foolish negligence is condemned by the Lord in the Bhagavad Gita 9.11, where he says that the foolish deride him, considering him a mortal being. He is not a mortal being, nor does he come before us with the body produced of material nature. There are many so-called scholars who contend that the Lord descends in a body made of matter, just like an ordinary living being. Not knowing his inconceivable power, such foolish men place the Lord on an equal level with the ordinary man. Because he is full of inconceivable potencies, God can accept our service through any sort of medium, and he can convert his different potencies according to his own will. Non-believers argue either that the Lord cannot incarnate himself at all, or that if he does, he descends in a form of material energy. These arguments are nullified if we accept the existence of the Lord's inconceivable potency. Then we will understand that even if the Lord appears before us in the form of material energy, it is quite possible for him to convert this energy into spiritual energy. Since the source of the energies is one and the same, the energies can be utilized according to the will of their source. For example, the Lord can appear in the form of Archa Vigraha, a deity supposedly made of earth, stone, or wood. Deity forms, although engraved from wood, stone, or other matter, are not idols, as the iconoclast contend. In our present state of imperfect material existence, we cannot see the Supreme
So
Lord
they
due to
are Archa
imperfect.
Vigraha. They are persons. Tomara Pratima Nahi Sakshat Brajendrandana. He is present before us. That is why whatever concerned with the Archa Vigraha, one has to be very careful in the dealings with Archa Vigraha. The sthapana of Archa Vigraha is done. They are not just idols. Idols are the forms which are kept in the roadside. They are not just idols. Whenever pratishtha is done, prana pratishtha is done, you invoke the deities. Though it may be first made up of metal or wood, or marble, but when the pratishtha is done, that time you are invoking a god. And after that, we have to be very careful when we are serving the deities. Yes. Read.
In our present state of imperfect material existence, we cannot see the Supreme Lord due to imperfect vision. Yet those devotees who want to see him by means of material vision are favored by the Lord, who appears in a so-called material form to accept his devotees' service. One should not think that such devotees who are in the lowest stage of devotion service are worshipping an idol. They are factually worshipping the Lord, who has agreed to appear before them in an approachable way. Nor is the archa form fashioned according to the whims of the worshipper. This form is eternally existent with all paraphernalia. This can be actually felt by a sincere devotee, but not by an atheist.
Yes.
In the
So
Bhagavad Gita
Lord is
4.11.
Lord's Vigraha is not just concocted. They are eternally present forms. Okay, Daya Sagar Prabhu, read from here.
Sorry, I
The Bhagavad Gita 4.11.
In the Bhagavad Gita 4.11.
in the
Page number
Bhagavad Gita 4.11, the Lord says that how he treats his devotee depends on the devotee's degree of surrender. The Lord reserves the right not to reveal himself to anyone and everyone, but to show himself only to those souls who surrender unto him. Thus, for the surrendered soul, he is always within reach, whereas for the under-rendered soul, he is far away and cannot be approached. This connection towards the revealed scriptures often apply to the Lord, Saguna with qualities and Nirguna without qualities are very important. The word Saguna doesn't imply that when the Lord appears with perceivable qualities, he must take on a material form and be subject to the law of material nature. For him, there is no difference between the material and spiritual energies, because he is the source of all energies. As the controller of all energies, he cannot at any time, be under their influence, as we are. The material energy works according to his description. Therefore, he can use that energy for his purposes without ever being influenced by any of the qualities of that energy. In this sense, he is nirguna, without qualities. Nor does the Lord become a formless entity at any time. For ultimately, he is the eternal form, the primal Lord. His impersonal, aspect, or Brahman, effulgence, is but the glow of his personal rays, just as the sun's rays are the glow of the
The
sun.
sun god. Okay. So here Krishna has guna. At the same time, Krishna has no guna. Saguna, nirguna. When you say nirguna means he doesn't have material qualities like us. So now you are Brahman. Now three aspects again has been spoken. Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. But here first Brahman is spoken. What is Brahman? There's a most impersonal aspect, but it is Lord's energy only. So it is impersonal, but Lord's energy. It is like the sun rays of the sun god. Okay, Vandana Mataji, read from here.
Hare Krishna. When the child saint Prahlad Maharaj was in the presence of his father asked him, "Where is your God?" When Prahlad replied that God resides everywhere, the father angrily asked him whether his God was within one of the pillars of the palace, and the child said yes. At once the atheist father shattered the pillar in front of him to pieces, and the Lord instantly appeared as Narsimha, the half man, half lion incarnation, and killed the atheist king. Thus, the Lord is within everything, and he creates everything by his different energies. Through his inconceivable powers, he can appear at any place in order to favor his sincere devotees. Lord Narsimha appeared from within the pillar, not by the order of his son, king, but by the wish of his devotee Prahlad. An atheist cannot order the Lord to appear, but the Lord will appear anywhere and everywhere to show mercy of his devotee. The Bhagavad Gita 4.8 similarly states that Lord appears in order to vanquish non-believers and protect believers. Of course, the Lord has sufficient energies and agents who can vanquish atheists, but it pleases him to personally favor a devotee. Therefore, he descends as an incarnation. Actually, he descends only to favor his devotees and not for any other purpose. In the Brahm Samhita 5.335, it is said Govinda, the primeval Lord, enters everything by his plenary portion. He enters the universe as well as all atoms of the universe. He is outside in his Virat form and he is within everything as Antaryami. As Antaryami, he witnesses everything that is going on and he awards us the results of our actions as karma phala. We ourselves may forget what we have done in previous lives, but because the Lord witnesses our action, the result of our actions are always there, and we have to undergo reaction nonetheless.
So
The fact is,
Paramatma aspect has been spoken here. Their Brahman aspect, Paramatma aspect. So Lord is present in each and every one of us. So we cannot hate anyone, isn't it? If you are hating someone, that means we are hating Paramatma also seated in the heart. So Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Kavi Hastini Shuni Chaiva Shapake Cha Panditaha Samadarshinaha. What is the Pandita seeing? Because this is the vision of the Mahabhagavad. What is he seeing? He is seeing Paramatma situated in everyone's heart. That is a vision of Mahabhagavatas.
The fact is that there is nothing but God within and without. Everything is a manifestation of his different energies, like the heat and light emanating from a fire. And in this way, there is oneness amongst his diverse energies. Although there is oneness, however, the Lord in his personal form still enjoys unlimitedly all the pleasures enjoyed minutely by the tiny particle, part and parcel's living entity. Hare Krishna.
So here we'll stop today because 6th and 7th are together. They should be studied together. So here we'll stop. Any questions you can ask in this. Very simple book, but very nice book. And all the shlokas are also very simple. Yeah.
Why Prabhupada is mentioning here God? Because generally Prabhupada's purport is Krishna, mentioned Krishna, but here in
the whole of
this purport,
Isopanisad, there is no word God. There is no personal name given to God. That is why Prabhupada also intentionally God, he also writes.
okay. So that is one difference I find, because
otherwise
in all the other
name.
purports.
Here you are finding Krishna's name, just search out. But in Upanishad, in the Isopanisad, there is no personal name given. But supreme person, he is a person. Somebody can find out. It's a nice thing. Yeah, it is there. Shri Krishna Bhakta is there. 15th verse, it is there. As soon as I opened first time, I found Krishna is there. The Isopanisad doesn't contain. But Prabhupada gives a personal name. Oh, that is a personal name of Lord. Okay. Any other question?
So, is there any specific reason, Mataji, why he did not mention Lord Krishna's name in the purports?
It is there, but in the initials it is not there. See, people are very they should not consider that we are speaking because we are from ISKCON. That is why we are telling Krishna. And slowly he will introduce why the name is Krishna. It is not something emotional. It is practical.
Yeah.
So first, trap a person with understanding that there is a supreme person. Then make him accept God first. Afterwards, give him the personal name. First, qualities of the God is given. And then the personal name. Personal name can be given only to those people who have qualification. Or they will think, okay, we have some sentiments behind it because we are coming from ISKCON. So.
Probably Mataji, this is in Vedas also. Krishna's name Krishna is mentioned everywhere.
Yeah, in Vedas Krishna is mentioned. Na? That is how Narada tells to Vyasa, you have written Vedas, but you have not fully described. Somewhere here and there you have mentioned. Nayad vachas chitra padam harer yasho jagat pavitram prakrita karishchit. But what you have done, tadvaya samtirtham, you have only written, you have made a pilgrimage of prose. No Hansa Purusha will take interest in that. Somewhere here and there you have mentioned Krishna's name. That is what. But create a literature where you will give Krishna's name everywhere.
Because since this is also part of Veda, and probably this is the reason.
Isopanishad is part of Vedas. But intentionally in Isopanishad, only the qualities of Krishna is given. All qualities of Lord is given. Now, sometimes there's a fight between Krishna and Narayana also. Some people say Narayana is.
No, but as you just said, that just to show that generally people or ISKCON people, they are not mentioning any God and they're only saying Krishna and all that. Since Vedas, this is less there, so that is the reason God word is more appeared there, so that the common public, the layman, he understands it better.
Upanishad, when Upanishad is describing God, they are describing the supreme person who can be called as Narayana also.
Yes.
Who is Narayana also, who is the same Krishna. Little bit. What is the difference? Only in the Rasa Tattva. Person is the same. Rama is the same person. Rasa is different. One is in complete sweetness, one is showing his opulence. What is the problem? Person is the same, na?
Yes.
But there is always a fight. No, we are all Krishnas. Somebody says we are all Narayanas. Narayana is the source of all the incarnation. Immediately our head breaks. No, Krishna is the source of. What is the problem if Narayana is the source of all the incarnation is told then? Immediately say, no, he's a four-handed form. What matters? He's the same person. Huh? The person is the same.
But Mataji says we have studied
That
and
is why one
from
of the place Krishna says, Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari, He Nath Narayana Vasudeva. Srila Prabhupada writes this statement, Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari, He Nath Narayana Vasudeva. He is the same Vasudeva. He is the same Narayana. He is the same Jagannath. He is the same Krishna. He is the same Gaur Sundar. Same person. Yes, Prabhuji, you were asking?
no, Mataji, I was just saying that since we have learned and we have studied from our acharyas and everyone that Narayan, Vishnu, Vasudev, Jagannath, because these are not very definedly elaborated in Vedas. So if there's somebody else, they will think like that only. That Narayan is something different, Krishna is different, Ram
Vedas
is
describe Krishna. Vedas describe Krishna. Vedas describe that supreme person. Now the supreme person is attracting everyone. That is why he is Krishna. Karshati Krishna. The supreme person is abode of all the living entities. That is why he is Narayana. Ayana Narayana. The supreme person enters everywhere. That is why he is Vishnu. Krishna has multifarious names. And every name has a meaning. Krishna, that supreme person, enchants everyone's heart. Ramante Yogino Nante Satyananda Chidatman. He is a Rama. So we cannot just restrict the supreme person's name to only one. He has multifarious names, but same person. He is same Krishna, same Jagannath. He is Jagannatha. Jagannath. He is the controller of all the universe. We are restricting. What happens is our thought process restricts. Oh, Jagannath, Puri Jagannatha. He is the source. And he is the same person who is Jagannath, who is Rama. And when we see Rama's deities and Krishna's deities, we'll stand near Krishna's deity. We are all Krishnas. We have nothing to do with Rama. How foolish we are. That means we have restricted our thought processes. He is the same Rama. Isn't it? Like somebody went to Ranganatha, Sri Rangam, sleeping. He's sleeping, then came out fast. Oh, he's a sleeping Krishna. We are more interested in Krishna, not Narayana. Hare Sukshma Vasudeva. And Ragya went again and took darshan and came back. So we may have a prejudiced thought, but Vedas are spoken by Krishna, and it is broader And to understand that person, Bhagavatam is given. Who is that person? That is why Bhagavatam has been written, because Vedas will confuse. Who is that person? That is why Narada says, even after writing the Vedas, you are not happy because you have not specified that person. And that person who is the source of everything is Krishna, who has attracted everybody by his qualities. So specify. Here and there you have told somewhere, but specify that person. Give name, Govinda. Give that name. He has mother. Tell that. He has father. Though he is father and mother of that father and mother. So describe his qualities. So that is why Bhagavatam is given. Or tadejati, tannejati, taddure, tadantike. He is outside, he is inside, he is up, he is down, he doesn't walk, he walks. By that, how am I going to understand his sweetness? Okay, even if I read a Isopanisad, I don't understand the sweetness of Krishna. I can understand the power of Krishna. But when it comes to understanding the sweet dealings of Krishna with the devotees, then Bhagavatam is required. If that is not there, then, okay, everything is like, but that type of eagerness to perform devotion will never come. It only comes when you have that personal relationship and understanding, yes, Krishna is there at every moment. To the ones who have surrendered to him. That is how personal dealings, personal relationship, he is a person, he has a wonderful personality, has been spoken. So just by studying Upanishad, one will understand power of Krishna, no doubt. Sweetness of Krishna, Bhagavatam. That is why after writing all these things also, Vyasa is crying and sitting. Why should he cry? Because he himself is not experiencing the bliss. After that, he writes Bhagavatam, he experiences the bliss. That is how he speaks Bhagavatam to his son first, Chaturshloki Bhagavatam. And he starts with Aho Bhakkiyam Sanakara Kutam. Even though Krishna, even though Putana comes with the intention of being Krishna, Krishna gives a position of mother. That is how Krishna's wonderful nature has been described. Chaturshloki Bhagavatam, how this Srishti, everything comes. And then hearing the same Bhagavatam from his son sitting on the banks of Ganga. When his son is speaking to Parikshit Maharaj. So this is how, when personal relationship is understood, Krishna's name is understood. Who is the supreme person? How is he dealing with everyone? How is he dealing with his close associates? Then the enthusiasm to perform devotion arises. Or everybody will do Om Jai Jagadish Hare Aarti Gao Om Jai. Everybody does. Who does not do? So you see, everybody sings Aarti. But what was the difference when we were doing devotional service in our childhood, and when we came in touch with Srila Prabhupada? Srila Prabhupada brought us near to Krishna, made us understand Krishna is a person. That is how we love to serve Krishna, because there is a reciprocation between the devotee and Krishna. We love to dress him. We love to see how beautiful the Krishna looks, especially on Ekadashis. You see, everybody puts their photo. We have dressed Krishna like this. We love to dress him. We love to feed him. Without feeding him, one does not eat. That is how the reciprocation has been taught by Srila Prabhupada. That is why Acharyas are very much important in our life. Anupama is seen after a long time. People. Any other doubt? Okay, stop here. Hare
Okay,
Krishna.
Madam. Hare Krishna, Hare Bol.
Mancha Kalpatarupasya.
Krishna, Vasudeva, Jagadananda, Krishna. Hare Krishna.